Hey, welcome back to Rust Order Garage. I guess this is like part 2 of the brakes when I never planned on there even being a part 1. It's just turning out that way. This is not my first time bleeding brakes, so I have an understanding of how to do it, but this is the first time I've run into this big of a problem, and I'm pretty sure it's in the front side. I just can't get it seems like I can't get the air out of the front section, and I need to start troubleshooting this thing and figure out what the problem is, which means I still can't retire this flannel yet, but hopefully soon. All right, so if it is indeed in the front, we've got some options. What could it be? Well, the master cylinder could be bad out of the box. These calipers that had almost no miles on them that I got from Marketplace, I could have a problem with one of those calipers. I could have a leak. I could have caused a problem myself as far as maybe one of the lines I have is slightly leaking or something. But the thing is, I've had small leaks before, and they still bled out and let the pressure out of the system. You just might see a little fluid and you got to go back and tighten things up. Things are tight right now, so if I have a leak, I'm going to be taking things apart and reflaring lines. But regardless, even with a very small leak, I think I should still be able to get a pedal, and I really don't see anything yet. There was some fluid on the bottom of the hose on this side, on the passenger side, but I can't tell if that's from, dripping out when I was trying to do all the bleeding and everything. So we're going to start at the top, master cylinder. I just took the bleeder line that I used to bleed it, and I just welded up the end of it quick. And we're going to put this on and basically eliminate the front circuit and see if I can get a pedal. Because if I get a solid pedal with the front blocked off, then, well, I know the master cylinder is good, and I know the leak is in the front of the system. I do believe the rear of the system is good, only because anytime I crack those bleeders loose in the back, I've got a good solid fluid stream coming through. I use a clear hose so I can see that if there's any air, they're solid. So I don't think it's in the back. Could be wrong, but I'm going to err toward the front side being the problem. So first thing, we'll disconnect the front circuit, install this, and see if I can get a pedal. All right, my block off is installed. I'm going to start the engine, see what the pedal feels like or doesn't feel like. It still goes to the floor or not. Let's see here. We got a pedal. Does not go to the floor anymore. If I push really hard, it goes down to the floor. But remember, that block off on the master's got air in it on the end. It can't get out. But I've got a pedal. And also, my brake light on the dash is now lit, meaning the shuttle in the proportioning valve has slid over and blocked off the front brakes, because I'm only putting fluid to the rears. So that is working as it should. The problem is definitely in the front system. Now, what's the problem? I'm leaning toward one of these calipers being bad. The hoses are brand new. They didn't come with the calipers. I bought those. Hopefully I don't have an issue with the hose, but I'm going to hook this back up, get under the car, and get a look around and see if I can see anything obvious. All right, well, I don't see any obvious leaks. There's the new proportioning valve I'd put in. That's a PV2. It says right on there, PV2. That's the one you would want for disc brake front and drum in the back. There is some brake fluid around here, but that's from me making a mess during the pressure bleeding and all that kind of stuff. But one thing I did see, there's brake fluid on the rotors. Now, I don't know if that's from me. I just rotated that and saw that. I don't know if that's from me, you know, spilling fluid while trying to do the bleeding, because I've done it so many times, you know, but if it was leaking out the bleeder at the top of the caliper, would it get there? I don't know. I think I'm going to take these calipers off and see if I can see anything. I don't, you know, the hoses have some fluid on them in the bottoms, but, you know, that could have ran down from the bleeder. Let me see if I can notice anything on these calipers. All right, well, I don't see anything obviously wrong with them. You know, you can't really tell inside. They are kind of dirty. You know, do I have a leak at the copper washers? I don't know. Those are brand new. This one I cleaned some junk off the piston there. But again, kind of dirty. One thing that's good about using something common like this GM stuff is parts are available and they're cheap. And they actually had calipers locally to me. So for about $100, I bought a pair of rebuilt calipers. I'm going to swap these things out just to do it. And if it doesn't fix the problem, okay. These are still spares, good to have around, because I do have more G-body stuff coming up in the future. Both calipers replaced. Pretty straightforward, not a big deal to do it. They'd have different markings than the ones I took off. But, you know, it's hard to tell if they're GM or they're aftermarket, because I guess, you know, again, they're so popular that they are made by the aftermarket as well. See, this one has different, this one has like actual like date castings and stuff on it, more like a GM part. And, you know, one is silver and one is kind of gray. You know, it throws off the what should I say, the perfection of the car, you know, now that one's a different color. I may have to paint it. We'll see. But, you know, Ace Frehley had one orange sneaker and I think it was one red sneaker. So, you know, sometimes it's good to be a little different. All right. Calipers are bled. And guess what? We got a pedal. We got a brake pedal. It may not be all of the pedal because I actually ran out of gas when I was doing it. So I don't know if I got this caliper really bled as much as I should, but it's enough pedal that if I put it in gear, head up and lift, wheels off obviously, put it in gear and let it go and hit the brakes, it stalls the engine. So it is stopping the rear axle. We have a pedal. We'll know for sure what it feels like, obviously, once it's out on the road. But check that one off the list. So that is a big relief that is done. Huge relief. Okay. So now, really, if I had a seat, I could drive this car. And if there wasn't all that white stuff out there. And you could forget about this thing moving anywhere out there. Yesterday, I drove my daily down here, which is all-wheel drive, and got it stuck in the backyard. Yeah, it's a lot of snow out there. And eventually, of course, I got it out. You'll get out with anything with all-wheel drive, but there's enough snow out there that it lifted the car off the ground. And once the tires aren't touching anything, it's not going anywhere. Chances of this going more than 3 feet are not very good. So we have some time still, unfortunately, I guess you could say, to finish this car before all that goes away. So the next thing to do, so we could actually sit in this thing and drive it, is a front seat. And the front seat has been undecided thing, you know. Run the stock bench seat, run a G-body bench seat because I have the G-body seat mounts in there, or buckets in a console, you know, period correct, something from the 60s. I think any of them would work well, but I'll decide that before we get into the next video. So this will be a short one, which I'm actually happy about, because I didn't have to spend forever troubleshooting this thing. Something's wrong with one or both of those calipers. No idea if they're GM calipers or not. This is another thing I was thinking about, you know, with the quick take-up calipers. How in the world would you know what you get? You know, because the aftermarket makes these now. What design did they follow? Are they conventional calipers or are they quick take-up? You know, you can buy them in Speedway, you can buy them in disc brake conversion kits. You know, there's no guarantee that you're getting anything that's factory GM. And the other thing is if somebody sends a core back or gives a core back to like AutoZone or something, how do you know what you're going to get? It's not good if you have one of the earlier cars. I guess you just have to run the later, you know, call it 82 up master cylinder to make sure that it'll work with whatever you have, you know. Might be a little touchy, I guess, with stock calipers, but I guess it's better than no pedal at all. So that'll be it for this. Just a quick update video. And yeah, we'll move on. And that means we're getting closer to me being able to actually clean up a little in here and retire this flannel. So I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following. Thank you very much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Oh man, I really want to get on to the next builds, but I got to get this done. Almost there. Later.